back here. Let's let's move on to some other stuff. It can't all be TP USA stuff. It just can't. You sent me some stuff from an article you had written a while ago. How long ago was that article you wrote? The wrestling one.
Like a year and 4 months ago.
Yeah. So, registered sex offender, wrestler, and Vision Dojo operator Chasyn Rance threatened to kill sex worker after being turned down. Now, who's this Chasyn Rance gentleman, Mike, for the new listeners that don't know?
All right, so there's this guy. We talked about him on the show too a couple months back. This guy runs a wrestling school here in Orlando. He got in a little bit of trouble a couple years ago for banging a 14-year-old.
It's not great.
Nah, it's not great. So he, whatever, he got in trouble. He did his time, I guess you could say, and then everybody just kind of like was like, okay, whatever. He came back, just started running a wrestling school again. So this guy's really well connected. Like when I wrote this article, I started getting yelled at a year and a half ago about, you leave him alone, he's a good guy. And I found out like this dude apparently is, I don't know if this is true, but allegedly this guy's roommates with, he lives with, remember the living legend Larry Zbyszko?
Really?
Yeah. So, so he's this like Florida dude. He runs a wrestling school. The problem is that like a lot of students at these wrestling schools are of questionable age. There's a lot of pictures of this dude with kids, like training kids, training young teenagers. There was like this person that I guess was like a huge Bailey fan, which just shows you how young this person was. They were like 12, 13. This was back when I wrote the article. She was like known on the internet for being like the #1 Bailey fan. And this dude, I guess, was training her to get into wrestling. This was like a 12, 13-year-old girl. So this dude's just always seems to have access to these kids. So I wrote the article a year and a half ago.
July 1st, 2018.
Yeah. So I wrote like a year and a half ago, I wrote this article saying like, this Chasyn Rance guy is a problem. Like he's still, doing scummy shit, and I hear all kinds of stories about him. And then I went on in the article to write about a whole bunch, Rick Michaels. There's a whole bunch of guys around the country. I've been talking to a couple of our friends behind the scenes because I'm actually going to do an update to this story later tonight because there's more. There's more guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like literally a sex offender running an indie or a wrestling school in like every region in the country. So we covered it. So this guy, all of a sudden, I got tagged over the weekend. So he's like, "Hey, remember your boy? Remember your boy Chasyn Rance? Well, he's in trouble again." So apparently, allegedly, this dude solicited a trans sex worker.
Rance.
Yeah, did I send you that order?
I have it.
Okay.
So Chasyn Rance, Chasyn was in the wrestling news last year after providing a ring for Kenny Omega at the CEO gaming event that was partnered with AEW. Kenny did not know that Chasyn was a registered sex offender and that Rance competed on the card, albeit the pre-show. Then Rance was in the news again after it was found out that he was training people under the age of 18 in his wrestling school. Then last week, Chasyn was arrested on a DUI, and a story came out on Facebook about Chasyn filming chloroform porn, and one of his students, a mother of 3, has been missing for a couple years. MLW middleweight champion Teddy Hart was brought into this and issued a statement. Today on Twitter, a thread was posted saying Chasyn threatened to kill a sex worker. The thread was posted by said sex worker. It's astonishing to know. Okay, so this is the
prostitute, by the way, hooker. Let's stop. I'm tired of this rewiring of people. This rewiring of America's brain where we're all going to say sex worker and person of color. It's a training hooker. A training hooker.
So yeah, apparently there's some screenshots of him saying he is threatening her in these. This is not a joke. Hey, what's up? I'm Chasyn. How are you? I'm doing well. Nice to meet you, Chasyn. You're looking for an in-call. It's nice to meet you, too, but I'm looking for an alcohol, hun. Okay, I can't do alcohol. My alcohol donations, and then she put how much they are. I just did a wrestling porn DVD. A pro wrestler, what's your stage name? and you're afraid of me, plain and simple. I'm smart enough to avoid a woman beater, is what she said to him. Don't worry, I gave your information to my good friend Richie. He'll be taking care of you pretty soon. Wait a second. And that means nothing to me. Cool, I just reported you to the cops for hiring a hitman to kill someone. That's a felony. And then he posted a video. Check out.
It wasn't a video. It was a Twitter account for another indie wrestler. Mm. I think trying to imply that that's the guy that's going to go take care of her. And then that guy had to release a statement just yesterday, and he was like, "Hey, look, I don't have anything to do with this. Like, I'm on the road right now." He was in Tennessee or like Mississippi, and he's like, "I haven't spoken to anybody except like my girlfriend and my mom."
Check out #Deathroot. Aaron Epic, I guess, is another. Yeah, so
he was implying basically, "I'm going to send this guy after you," and then that guy had to release a statement yesterday, going like, "I have no idea what's going on. I have nothing to do with this."
Oh yeah, you reported the cops on me so fast. Haha, what a joke, is what he wrote back. And then there's a screenshot of your article, Mike, that she posted, the Kenny Omega and the ring thing and all that stuff. So is he still at the wrestling school?
Yeah, he's run. It's that's the thing. It's his wrestling school. That's what people don't understand.
It's his, so you could do. Yeah. Are people still going to it? Obviously, right?
Yeah, it's pretty popular, and this has been something that we've tried to. Even when I wrote this article back in the day, he's got this chick by the name of Santana Garrett. She was like his girlfriend at the time. She's a pro wrestler. She runs a school with him. She trains with him and everything. Like, you know, this chick has turned a blind eye to it, despite constantly getting shit on Twitter about it. She's gotten shit. His new girlfriend gets all kinds of shit, and these people just enable it. Like they again, like when I wrote my article, my whole issue was like, you know, I know everybody has very, very divisive opinions about pedophiles, convicted sex offenders, what they should and shouldn't be allowed to do. I'm not one of these extreme people. It's like, we got to burn them all alive. I get it. You're supposed to pay your debt to society. You're supposed to be given a chance to change your ways, whatever. My only issue is that he works specifically with the age group,
right,
and the gender that he already was. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one thing if you want to go.
Right, if you're an alcoholic, you shouldn't be a bartender.
Exactly. And if you're a child molester, you know what I mean? Like, if you got caught diddling a kid and now you're like, well, now I'm going to go work as a forklift operator at the Amazon warehouse. You're like, okay, you're probably not around kids all day. That's great. You want to run a wrestling school for kids? So you're like, hang on, can we get literally any other guy for this job? So this Aaron guy that he sent the
Paula
picture
Poundstone just volunteered.
I'd love to teach these kids. Wow, did this guy? I think this guy might have taken it down now.
Well, Teddy Hart. Who's this Samantha Fiddler person that disappeared? What is that about?
Well, I was going to get into that too, but I wanted to see. Oh, here we go. I wanted to read this. So the hitman in this situation,
Brett Hart,
Aaron Epic.
Oh,
his statement was, just so everyone knows, I've been in Tennessee and North Carolina all weekend, and only people I've heard from are my wife, my mother, and people that are family. I've had a few wrestlers reach out to me tonight and ask questions. I've not been contacted by anyone to go after anyone, physically or verbally. All I do now is work, train, travel, and wrestle. I have a little boy coming in February, and I'm done with BS and drama. For those that believe me, thank you. So that's it. And then, so this now ties Teddy Hart into it. This whole thing gets so fucked up.
Of the Hart family?
Of the Hart family.
Okay.
Teddy Hart was the once, like, he was going to be the biggest Hart ever.
Of course.
He was Bret Hart's nephew. He was the youngest WWE signee in history. He was like 17 when they signed him, or like 16. They signed him to train him. And he got a really big head right away, and he fucking just did drugs, and he crashed and burned. And Teddy Hart's kind of a punchline in wrestling now. So Teddy Hart was doing a show in, I want to say Japan. I think it was a Japanese show. Might not have been. It might have been somebody. It might have been in the States, but it was like a smaller company, whatever. So they suddenly announced out of nowhere, we will not be working with Teddy Hart on this upcoming show, nor indefinitely in the future. Some things that have come to our attention, that were brought to our attention by our fans, and for the time being, we won't be working with Teddy Hart. So everybody was like, some things came to their attention. You know, it's Teddy Hart, so everybody starts going, ooh, what did Teddy Hart do again? Apparently this Samantha
Fiddler.
Samantha Fiddler was a woman who came to America with Teddy Hart. She's from Canada. She was his baby mom, or he's just his girlfriend, whatever. Right. So he got her into wrestling. She was trained by Chasyn Rance. So Teddy Hart, because Teddy Hart and Chasyn Rance are buddies. So I guess Chasyn was helping train her in wrestling, whatever, mother of three, whatever. She lived in Bartow. She lived in Polk County. And she just vanished. She got locked up one night for trespassing or something, whatever, and she was released, and they saw her right after she was arrested, and then she just vanished into thin air.
And no one knows where she is until this day.
Mm-hmm. So there's been a lot of speculation as to what, if at all, if Teddy Hart is involved in that. And then, of course, you have Chasyn Rance, who's a registered sex offender running the wrestling school who trained her. So the whole thing is getting very spoopy.
Teddy Hart says, first and foremost, importantly, in regards to the Samantha Fiddler and her disappearance, Samantha and I had both personal, albeit brief, and professional relationship, which began when I first met her in Edmonton. She wanted to become a professional wrestler, and I did my best to train her before she decided to pursue other interests. Samantha was a good-hearted person and someone I cared for. She also had a lot of things going in her life and issues which she was dealing with that extended beyond our relationship. By the time she moved to Florida, our relationship had ended and I had moved to Texas. I was not in regular communication with her and I do not know what happened to her. I hope for the sake of her family and her kids that she's somewhere out there and she's okay. In regards to Chasyn Rance, I have known Chasyn for many years and like others have crossed paths with him several times over the course of my career. I do not know, nor do I plan in the future to have any sort of personal or professional relationship with Chasyn, nor do I support him, nor do I support him in regard to the crimes for which he has been convicted. I have participated in several custom video shoots to do many others well-known independent wrestlers, but I have never participated in any shoots that are illegal, obscene, or beyond the traditional scope of these videos.
So they were, you know what the rumor is now?
Filming porns?
Not just filming porns. They were filming like chloroform.
Yeah, I read
porn.
that earlier.
Yeah, chloroform like rape porn, which is a whole different. It's one thing to do pornos or whatever, but this is like, I guess, simulated rape, passed out girls and stuff, which is probably, I'm sure the girls in the video aren't really getting chloroform and shit, but it's still like very
kind of weird,
very creepy stuff.
He continued, I made many mistakes in my life, and I am sure I will make more in the future. Unfortunately, I cannot change the past. I have paid my debt to society, including time in jail, and I will have to live with my consequences of my actions for the rest of my life and all the judgments that come with it. All I can do now is focus on being the best person I can be, both in and out of the ring, and I will continue to put my faith in God that everything will work out for the best. I wake up every day grateful to have the blah, 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 blah.
Jesus Christ, son of God.
Man, you were on this way ahead of the curve, Mike.
Every you go back and read any article I ever wrote, and then it's like 2 or 3 months later, there's an article like, "This is a fucking problem." PJ Media, One American News. Whoa, look out what Desmond's doing. Yeah,
Red
thanks.
State News or the other one.
They just steal everything. That's why I don't do it anymore. Because why do you read articles anymore? Because they take hours to do, and nobody gave a fuck. That's why. And the only people that cared about my articles were the people that were stealing and then using better SEO to look like they were. It's just whatever.
We have we have a donation here from Salvatore Martone, $5. I'm oddly okay with Chasyn Rance's actions. I miss scumbags and totally carny shit in wrestling, yo. Yeah, but not kid touching.
Yeah, I mean, kid diddling is where I kind of...
Like, it's not like Macho Man had sex with a 15-year-old Stephanie McMahon. That would be crazy, and they would never work with him again.
So that's just... It is what it is. There's just no fucking...
So we'll play this because to finish off the wrestling stuff, this was great. Jesse Lee Peterson versus Brock Lesnar.
I have with me in studio
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that's a girl name.
That's the best. This video killed me.
That's a girl name.
Betas.
Brock Lesnar understands that more than ever before in his career, he's going to have to lay waste to you.
Amazing.
What you're going to do is you're going to understand that all you've done is that you woke up the beast.
Amazing. And so you're not for the wall going up, right? Are you for the wall going up in Israel? Israel has a wall. Are you for that?
Excuse me, I don't get this. I don't get the premise here. Why are you asking so
Are you
many
refusing
questions?
to answer that question?
Stop.
Do you support Israel putting a wall up around the country?
Brock Lesnar understands that he's going to have to beat you within an inch of your life.
Amazing. Do you love black people?
No.
Amazing.
I want to thank you for backing me into this corner, challenging me.
We beta males.
It's when I'm at my best.
Beta.
See you Sunday.
You a beta. Beta.
That was great.
With the Botchamania transitions too. That's amazing.
That was suspicious spam. Let me post the link. Their suspicious spam is fucking